I'm Mark Lieberman. I'm a reporter for Education Week, and I'm here today to explain what the Social Security Fairness Act, which President Biden signed into law on January 5th, means for educators. This new law could lead to some current and future retired educators receiving hundreds more dollars of federal retirement benefits each month. Here's what the Social Security Fairness Act does. It eliminates two admittedly wonky-sounding components of federal retirement law: the Windfall Elimination Provision, abbreviated WEP, and the Government Pension Offset, also called the GPO. These policies affected educators who worked in the 15 states where school districts don't participate in Social Security. Those educators were eligible for a pension for their years of service in those districts, but the WEP led to them seeing much smaller Social Security payments for the years they spent working elsewhere. Both of these policies were passed in the 1980s to prevent situations in which public sector workers, including educators, as well as firefighters and police officers, get full retirement benefits from both state pensions and the federal Social Security program. But in the decades since, some educators and their spouses have said these policies end up robbing them of benefits they need to sustain a comfortable life in retirement. After years of advocacy from teachers' unions and retiree groups, the Social Security Fairness Act passed Congress in late 2024 with bipartisan support, including a rare unanimous vote in the U.S. Senate. Here's what it means. And don't be afraid to rewind if you need to. This stuff is a little complicated. If you have ever worked for a public school in one of the 15 states mentioned earlier, the Social Security Fairness Act could affect you. Because the WEP and the GPO are no longer in effect, you'll now receive the full amount of benefits you accrued while working other jobs throughout your career. If you have never worked for a public school or other public employer in one of those 15 states, this policy will not affect you. Let's look at an example. Let's say Jennifer worked 15 years at a school district in Maryland, where districts participate in Social Security. Then she spent the remainder of her career at a school district in Connecticut. Because Connecticut school districts don't participate in Social Security, the WEP would have kicked in, reducing Jennifer's total benefits. Instead, Jennifer is now eligible for Social Security benefits for her 15 years of service in that first Maryland district. The same is true if Jennifer had instead spent those first 15 years in the private sector and then the rest of her career at a school in Connecticut. Now another example. Jennifer's friend Eleanor spent half of her career teaching in Florida and the other half in the private sector. Because school districts in Florida participate in Social Security, Eleanor was already paying Social Security taxes from her paycheck when she was a teacher there. The Social Security Fairness Act won't change anything about her benefit amount. As you can tell, the formulas and policies that determine Social Security benefits can be confusing. We highly recommend consulting retirement and financial experts to figure out if and how the Social Security Fairness Act affects you. For more coverage of issues surrounding benefits for educators, visit edweek.org.